Welcome back to Unplugged with Buddyred. I'm your host, Buddyred, and today with us we have a baseball enthusiast, Twitch streamer, and rock star, giving a friendly Canadian a whole new meaning, fostering a welcome community of streamers, gamers, and other baseball enjoyers. Welcome into the podcast, MJPK2Sweet. Welcome in, man.
Thanks for having me, man. It's a privilege to be on the program, and I thank you very much for having me as a guest.
Yeah, man. You've been on the list for a minute to get on the podcast, and the opening came up, and you were able to hop right in. So,
yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. I'm super excited. I love doing things like this and just kind of chopping it up about a wide variety of stuff. So I'm excited.
I'm really excited. You're gonna have a lot to talk about. I already know. You do a lot, so I'm really excited to dive into it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man. You want to give us a little rundown of just you yourself, history, however, wherever you want to take it?
Yeah, of course. So for those of you that may not know me, my name is Michael. I'm MJPK2Sweet. It's 2 words, 6 syllables. I am 33 years young or old, depending on how optimistic or pessimistic you are. And I stream from Canada. I'm a baseball enthusiast, as you said. I think that's a pretty apropos way of putting it. Big wrestling fan, big sports fan in general. Some more than others, but I think that's everybody. We all have our, favorite kids, I guess. If you want to call sports kids, but yeah. And I just love to stream. I love to play video games. I play a lot of Fortnite, MLB The Show are my 2 main kind of grinds. But, growing up, I played a lot of video games, everything from Soul Calibur to, every iteration of Call of Duty. Started on the Sega Master System playing like Altered Beast, and I think it was Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball, like 98 or something on the Super Nintendo as well. But so many games, so many journeys, so many moments, and I think it's all kind of culminated into doing a lot of what we do now, and that's, stream, make music. I make music as well. I play in an indie rock band called White Hot, so that's another thing that I kind of get my hands into, or helps me keep my hands busy. So in general, it's jack of all trades, master of none, jack of none, master of none. I don't know, depending on, like I said, how pessimistic or optimistic you want to be. But I feel like now, anyway, at this stage in my life, I feel pretty well versed in doing a lot of different things, and it's just been a really, really enjoyable time getting to know and learn a little bit more about every little thing that I do.
Hell yeah, dude. It's awesome. Yeah, so usually, most of the people that I have on the show are other content creators and streamers and stuff. But I want to start with you with the Red Hot band and just your music stuff in general, because I was not expecting to actually enjoy your stuff, because typically when you get to you find a small artist, you're like, there's probably a reason they're small. I don't understand why you're small, because you're I actually listen to your music off and on stream all the time. You're in my rotation at this point. The Spotify DJ AI thing plays your music with every multiple times with it just on a single car ride. I listen to yourself.
In general, I slid the DJ some cash, I think, to give us more plays. I don't know what it would be, but first of all, I really appreciate that, man. That's really, really kind of you to say. I love making tunes with the boys, and we have a lot of fun doing what we do. So yeah, no, just really, really have a lot of fun doing it, and I appreciate that.
So how did you said in stream that you've been in a lot of bands? That's just kind of what your thing has been. It's just music. But so how did this band get started, and what's that? Where's that story?
So I used to play in another band, and we were called the Almighty Rhombus. So the story behind that, everyone asks about the name immediately, so I just give the story with it too. But we used to be called just Rhombus, just a geometric shape, and it kind of looks like a diamond. If you're trying to visually imagine this, if you're listening to this right now and you're trying to visually imagine a rhombus, it's kind of like a diamond. But yeah, anyway, geometric shape. So we were playing a show, and my buddy's band who was playing before us kind of was trying to, I guess, put the crowd up to see our band. And he said, up next is the Almighty Rhombus. And so we were like, okay, that'll be our band name instead of just Rhombus. It's a little more sexy. It's a little more exciting. So we switched it, although still very bizarre. I have no idea why we ended up on that. But yeah, so I used to be in a band with a set of 3 brothers. and they fought a lot in that band, and it was a very
Right.
kind of interesting kind of band. But we made some really, really cool tunes, and so I got really busy with that, and we made tunes for quite a while, like very long time actually, probably 10 years or so. And coming out of that, after that band had dissolved, I was looking for things to do, and kind of parallel to working in that band, I started White Hot, which was a band that me and the bass player in the project, his name is Emmett. He's a rippin' bass player, and
Nice.
he introduced me to the drummer Keith in White Hot, and we've kind of just put together a really great chemistry, really good working rapport, and overall they're just really, really great dudes, and we were able to, kind of come together in about 2017, I think it was, when we released Big Smooth, the first single on Spotify, and I mean, ever since then, it's just been kind of rolling. We've had kind of little hiatuses here and there, just with different kind of life stage things. I moved
Right.
away
Yeah.
for like a year and a half, so we didn't really have a lot of time to make tunes, but we're back with a vengeance, gonna make some beautiful music, and yeah, it's been fun ever since then. It's been, I guess, 8 years now, which is kind of crazy to say too, because yeah, even saying being in a band for 10 years and then being in another band for 8 years is kind of crazy. It's like
Yeah,
switching teams in free agency or something.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, that's awesome though. That you've been able to just, you're in that scene for so long as well.
It's a blast for sure.
So, is there any like album like coming up or anything? Because I'm just looking for more. This is like not even for the podcast; it's just for me.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked about what we're working on right now. We have 4 songs kind of in the can, which is basically the stage before, you go to a studio and you actually record it properly. So what we did is we kind of hunkered down at the drummer's place, and we sat around a computer and we just kind of tinkered with the 4 songs over and over and over again until we got them rather to the place where we really, really liked where they were at. So now it's kind of just a matter of, let's get into the studio, let's make some time for it. And yeah, so I think I'm hoping for the fall. I'm hoping for the fall. We'll probably get a 4-song release, but before that, we'll probably get a single out there. So late summer, early fall, I would say, if we're gonna release something this year. Yeah, I'm excited either way. Like, I mean, I'm pretty proud of what we're doing with it, but it sucks because I initially thought we were gonna have something out probably closer to now.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had to push it back a little bit with some red tape and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, is what it is. So
Yeah. I mean, you guys are all adults with lives. Like it's going to happen. Things are going to happen.
Life gonna life for
yeah,
sure.
life's going to life.
Yeah.
So I know you're this month you were supposed to have a performance that you were going to live stream and stuff, and that fell through. Are you going to try to be doing more of that eventually, or what is that looking like?
I think it's definitely in the cards. I think there's definitely a few avenues we've been exploring already to have more shows. So, I mean, I've said it before on stream as well, like on Twitch, there's kind of always things in the cards. It's just a matter of like, is it a good fit to live stream? And like some venues are better than others for that. But yeah, no, definitely have plans to work on a few things. Hopefully get some live streams. My theory on it is that if we're gonna do something live, like if the band's gonna play live, we might as well live stream it as well. So I mean, it's like a 95%, ratio of ones that we would live stream and ones that we wouldn't. So I would say, yeah, there's definitely something coming down the pipeline. I just can't say too much yet,
Right?
Because I don't want to.
Nothing.
I don't want to over deliver.
Right.
Or under deliver. Let's say. There you go. That's right.
That's awesome, dude. So where's your love for baseball come? Because before I feel like that's like your number one. Like when somebody first gets to know you, it's like this dude loves baseball. Like you just know everything about baseball. It seems like.
I don't know. It's just like a meticulous kind of focus, I guess. Like when I was growing up, I used to sit in the family house in the basement with my grandmother, and we would watch just Blue Jays games like all the time. So we would just watch constant Toronto Blue Jays games, and she would just shout at the TV, and I would have to like wonder why she was mad at a certain player, and she would explain it to me. She was like, "Oh, this guy just like, messed up the entire game. He gave up a big home run." And then through that, I would learn about all these like different stats and categories and the players. And then I think that was like in the mid '90s, and like since then, I've just been obsessed with the game. I love the game within the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think baseball is one of those sports it's really just like, will the umpire give me the call? If the umpire doesn't give me the call, that's like a very human error that I can't control. And then I don't know, it's crazy. The break on a crazy slider or a curveball or someone hitting a phenomenal home run. It's just such I don't know. It's such a roller coaster of emotions, but also just like the athleticism involved, and all the crazy moments that are kind of contained within a game within a game, essentially. And I think that's why I just love the game so much in general. It's just so meticulous. There's so much to look at. There's so many things to like about it. And, and for the most part, I know it's a slow game. It's not lost to me that not everyone loves baseball, right? It's, yeah, and like I said, we all have preferences, but yeah, I think in general, I just really, really love the chess match and how surgical the sport is in general.
Yeah.
And growing up and like having that kind of really early exposure to it, and just continuing with that, and also playing some minor baseball as well. Was
really?
a hell of,
Okay.
hell of a knuckleballer. I can still actually throw the knuckleball too. It's pretty sick. If
That's
I throw
nice.
it, you just like see the seams in midair, and I'm like, that was a good one. But if it starts like jingle jangling over here or over there, it's like that was a bad one. So I may be washed. I don't know. The jury's out.
So like, do you play through college and all that, and then
No
or
collegiate, unfortunately, no high
really?
school
Okay.
either. But it's just because, like in Canada here, hockey is king, right? And there's a
Right.
lot
Yeah.
of like, it's not to say that there aren't opportunities to play baseball here, but it's just like, unless you're in BC, I feel like the majority of MLB Canadian players are from British Columbia. There's a few I think that are from other provinces, but yeah, it's kind of tough sledding. Like I'm from Northern Ontario, which is a little bit snowier and colder than the average kind of
Yeah. So it's gonna
area
be hard
here.
to be in those outdoor sports.
Yeah, like I mean, I guess you could live in a batting cage and hibernate or something like a bear, but at the end of the day, you can't really you can't practice like someone in say a Florida or an Arizona or
Oh
Texas
yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Where it's warm and 70
exactly.
degrees all the time.
Tropical.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I played baseball until I was at late middle school, I think.
Nice.
And then just had one bad coach that ruined the experience for me. And it's
Oh,
one of
that's
the things
real.
that I just missed. Like I always wanted to get back into it, just never did. But the love for baseball is still there. I don't watch it as much as I would like to,
Right.
but it's just there's just something about baseball. I mean, it's America's pastime.
I get very romantic about the game. It's just like even I don't know, just watching straight up playoff baseball, even if my team isn't involved. Actually, I find it more enjoyable if my team isn't involved because I can actually,
You can actually just
focus
enjoy
without
the game.
right, like no additional stress or stressors. I don't have to have a panic attack with every pitch kind of thing. So, yeah, no, it's a real romantic kind of sport for me in general. I just really obsess over some of the more, I guess, nerdy things. I'm really more into the advanced stats now too, which gets, you can fall off a cliff, go down a rabbit hole with
Right.
them, but I mean, in general, it just I guess scratches the itch.
That's awesome. Like I said, speak more on the minor league stuff. Like, how did that come up and all that?
Like playing minor baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just like literally just kind of like city baseball. So it was essentially it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
anything
Gotcha.
too crazy. Like I wasn't in the minor leagues or anything.
Okay, so you're like,
Yeah, it was called it was just like a minor baseball league. But yeah, I think I played till I was about 16 and yeah, I had some success. Like I mean, I was a pretty good pitcher and pretty good second baseman, but at the end of the day, it's like I sound like the washed up like 47-year-old dude who's like if they would have put me in, we would have won state. So at the risk of sounding so washed, I'll put a lid on it.
that's great, man. I mean, baseball too. Like you said, you're talking about how it's like a game of chess, and it's crazy too because like
Hmm.
you'll look at collegiate and they'll play they'll have double headers like all the time, and how one team will get absolutely blown out, and you're like, damn, like I don't even want to watch game two because it's just gonna be like awfully boring, and it's just not even the same teams that show up like literally 2 hours later.
It's momentum swing.
Yeah, it's crazy how just like, no two games are ever the same.
No, that's absolutely right. It's kind of like it's not really a cookie cutter sport because there's so much nuance in every play. Like luck is always like a determining factor. Like the people are always talking about the baseball gods. Like the baseball gods have to give me like good juju for this game. And even when I'm playing MLB The Show, like I shit you not, it's like constantly a ride with like the baseball gods in your mind. You're just like, please let me like just strike this guy out and win this game. I just want to have a
Right.
good ranked record so I don't look like a chump in front of all my friends and on camera at the same time, So
That's the thing too. Like you said, like yeah. I mean, obviously, there's going to be players that are better than others, and having those better players, because they have advantage. But the like even if you can have a stacked team and that team that's just like kind of mediocre, if they're having a good day and they're just on, like there's 100% chance that they can just win the game.
absolutely. That's why they play. That's
It's just baseball alone is just so different from everything else. And while like I understand why some people might not enjoy it because it can be kind of slow. And if you're not really into like you're kind of waiting for the action. It's like it's kind of I mean it's almost like watching like a Twitch stream rather than like a VOD or something. Like you're watching a Twitch stream. Like yeah, sometimes certain games do really good live stream because you're waiting. You're always waiting for the action to happen. But like you can't just throw a VOD up like that. Yeah, I don't know. Baseball just is awesome.
I love it.
Really, I really want to get back into it. Just as a fan and everything.
It's fun. It's fun. Like even if you're not like a team guy, like you could just pick out certain players and just really fix it on like even just their highlights. Like I find I'm a big player guy now. Like as I've gotten older, I really enjoy just like certain individual players on teams. And then of course like I'm a diehard Jays fan, but I have interest in other teams. I'm window shopping as a baseball fan. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I think like MLB wise, I don't really have like a team. Never really had a team, so I'm able to just sit back and throw a game on and like enjoy that game, and not have to like not stress it. Like now, when it comes to collegiate, that's just kind of how I am with like all of like not a huge like pro sports dude, but I really enjoy collegiate just because like I can root for a local university that I could, like actually could go to and not break the bank just to see one game.
Yeah. Walking out your door costs you $50 nowadays. It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. Because like so like just like difference for myself, like watching a collegiate game versus like an MLB game is just having the to be a fan of something really just changes your perspective of it all too. But yeah, so sticking with that and MLB the show, I mean that's really your bread and butter. You want to tell us like something about that?
Definitely, yeah. MLB The Show is a game I've been playing since 2006 probably, and I did the math on that, and it was depressing to me today that I started playing that when I was 14, and now I'm 33 and going to be 34 this year, and so it's like 20 years of rotting my brain on MLB The Show, and I love the game, but it is funny to also poke fun at it because I feel like the community as a whole, the MLB community that is, like in terms of content creation and just the people who play it. They tend to have like this kind of satirical relationship with the game where they're always kind of like poking fun at it and being like, why can't you be a little better or a little graphically better or a little this or a little that? And there always seems to be something wrong. Like they can never ever get it right. And I mean the devs and everything. Yeah, it's like nobody's ever happy. It's the Nickelback paradox. It's like that you can only please most of the people most of the time. That's what I heard. I believe Chad Kroeger from Nickelback said that famously in an interview. And which I agree with. I think it's like if you try to, appeal to everybody all the time, you're gonna look like a clown in general because you'll just appear to be a giant people pleaser. But it's like, yeah, in general, MLB The Show is a game that I've just really enjoyed playing. It's fun. It's fun to stream because there's so much not dead space or dead air, but just kind of like these little peaks and valleys where you can easily just like vibe with your chat, hang out, and shoot the shit about a variety of different things. Like sometimes we're talking about the most random stuff when I'm playing baseball, and just the kind of the general dichotomy between the game and what I'm talking about. It's like completely different things. So yeah, I don't know. I like it as a streaming game for that reason. It's just very chill and relaxing. But yeah, I think I've played every iteration since 2006. I remember I could probably tell you who's on the cover on every game.
Oh wow, that's crazy. That's awesome though.
And yeah, it's just a game I love, and it's fun to play, and I've gotten better and better at it, which is kind of interesting too. And it's fun to do things that you feel like you might be halfway good at, and so yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, as a viewer, when I first found you, I was like, oh, like this dude seems cool, but like I'm not gonna watch MLB like the show. Like I'm just like, I would never have thought of like going to look for a content creator within that space. But because of your skill of networking, which I want to touch on later, like you're just incredible at networking.
I appreciate that.
But also like, which is how I found you. I believe I found you through Bot Reaper.
Yep, that would make sense.
Yeah, you and Bot are both just like networking gods at this point.
Shout out to the Bot Reaper. Guy's a legend.
Sure. First or second podcast guest I think we had.
Phenomenal.
I lost my train of thought there. But also like your ability just to talk with the audience and just keep everybody engaged during those lulls of the game, but also for something that isn't really like I mean, you're going on Twitch, you're probably looking for at like a game where it's going to keep your attention, and the bigger games that like Fortnite and stuff like that.
Right.
But but your ability to communicate with the chat, keep everybody engaged, and then just bring in people across, because and people are tuning in for you. They're not tuning in for the game, because the same people are there whether you're playing baseball or Fortnite, which really shows like you as the streamer.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's something that I really pride myself on too. And I've thought about this more and more. You brought something up that was really kind of like ticked a bell in my head. And it was just like, you want, in general, like with streaming and content creation, like you're the common variable, right? I'm saying you're as in like, the streamer in whatever, case study. And in general, it's like, it doesn't matter what game you play, you're always going to be the constant in that stream of content, right? So it's like, I just find it's really important for people to take note of that, because it's like, if you feel like something's going wrong with your stream or something in general, and this is just like a general streamer comment, but it's just like, you need to like take a hard look at like the constant, right? And that's you. And it's like an inward kind of like critical thing that you need to do, but it's also a feedback thing that I feel like is very positive, because it leads to growth. And so yeah, I just feel like it's a point of pride that the same people that want to watch, say, Fortnite, because that's the other game I play mostly, also still come around and want to say hey, or just chill out in the chat with the rest of the community as well, because the vibes are good, and because we try to just cultivate a really, really cool place for people to want to hang out and feel safe and everything. It's, yeah, just in general, it's a point of pride that they want to be there for both games.
Yeah, I mean, on the point of looking like inward on yourself as a streamer, or like if you're creating content in general, the best way to do that too is just like, watch your own stuff.
100%.
I understand, like, I mean, everybody hates listening to themselves speak.
Yes.
But once you get over that part, because I still hate it, and all I do is hear myself.
Brother, I do too, man. Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, right now I'm hearing my own voice in my head, and I'm like, when I hear this recording, this is not the voice that I will hear.
Right.
And I know it. It's like, it doesn't really bother me that much anymore, but it's just like you said, you got to get used to it.
Like, when I have to go, like, sit through these podcasts, I'm just, like, sitting there cringing, like, I hate my voice. But I was like, I know it's still good, like, I know people enjoy the podcast. I'm gonna sit through it, and just like any other video I make, but it's just a weird thing. But the big thing about that is, like, if you can sit down and watch your content, and you're getting bored watching your content, there's an issue there, and
yes,
that's what needs to be fixed. Like, you should be able to sit down and watch your streams back and be like, hey, I'm actually having a good time. Like, I can see why, like, people are continuing to come back, or vice versa. If you're like, I don't understand why I don't have viewers. I mean, granted, there's luck to it, but if you're sitting there and you're bored watching your own stuff, other people are going to be bored as well.
Brutal honesty, right? Like, you got to be brutally honest with yourself, and you need to be able to put yourself in a position where you are fallible. And by fallible, I mean, like, you have to allow yourself to make mistakes. I don't know about you, but it's just like, in general, the best growing and learning that I've done in my entire life has been through failing and making mistakes. And I put failing in, air parentheses. For those of you listening, I'm doing air parentheses. But yeah, so failing just leads to the best growth in the sense that you are learning a lesson, and you can use it purposefully and be really mindful of what you do next, or the next time you find yourself in that situation.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I've been creating content since like 2018, and only really started to see growth like probably in the last like year and a half. And there's a lot of factors to it. Like, I was never consistent. I was, all the above and beyond. But also a big thing was, like, I never actually improved anything about my content. I just got on, did my thing. I got really good at the streaming portion and understanding how streaming works and being able to be a streamer. But then I never looked inward and said, all right, where can I improve? What aspects can I bring in to improve everything and compound it? The second I started doing that, numbers doubled, numbers started triple, and then everything in general outside of streaming started to grow as well.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is I was listening back to the archives of Unplugged, and I listened to a bit of the Kiffer episode, and he said something really, really, that was a really fun conversation. And he said something really valuable where he said 1% better every day. And I tend to follow the same kind of, value system. I think it's really important to be like, every little thing that you do, whether it's, how you tie your shoes, or what hat you're gonna wear that day, or what you're gonna cook, or how your office looks, or whatever it is, right? I just feel like it's so important to be really mindful and purposeful and do everything with absolute intention. And what I mean by that is just like be really, really like, I'm doing this for a reason. I think it just lends itself in a real nice marriage with that 1% better every day. And if you just like combine those two things, like everything I do is for a reason, and I'm also not afraid to make mistakes, but then I'm also willing to, get that 1% better and take that small victory and just kind of move forward with it every day. It's just so valuable.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah. And I think that's the thing too, is like everybody doing content creation in any form, or it's just anything in the entertainment industry, is a marathon.
Oh, absolutely.
So like it's about that slow, like you can't go from 0 to 100. Like sure you think you see that in a lot of people, but you never see the years of grinding.
It's
like,
true.
it's the tip of the iceberg type thing. Like you always see the success, you never see the years of whatever it was that got them there. Granted, there is that luck aspect or whatever. Like some people get to the finish line a little bit faster, but it is that just take little baby steps at a time. Like just do a little bit every day. And biggest thing too is just like don't burn yourself out. Like if you feel burnout, it's okay to let off the gas a little bit.
I agree with that 100%. I'm massive mental health advocate. I think it's really important to take care of your mental health. I think it's important to, be nice to yourself. I feel like a lot of us nowadays just aren't nice to ourselves. And it's a shame because we're all, beautiful, individual, unique human beings, some better than others, obviously. But at the end of the day, it's just important to be nice to yourself because, and like you said, quite largely as well, is the fact that you should take a break if you feel burnout, and there's nothing wrong with taking a break. And anyone that's in someone's community, for example, let's say you're a streamer and you're worried, oh, if I take a break and I don't stream for this week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, like my community will leave me. And then at the end of the day, that'll be a telling experience for you anyway, because you'll be able to see who was there for you anyway and who wasn't. So it's,
exactly.
It's kind of these little things you take out of situations. But at the end of the day, I agree 100%. It's like you got to take care of yourself. And the mental health is extremely important, as well as the physical health, because they go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's like I think you worded that perfectly. But I mean, and with your community, like it depends on how you form your community as well. Like if you're gonna
Exactly.
I think the biggest cornerstone is creating that community that you and your community engage together, and it's not just fans watching you. Like you can't think of yourself as like I'm a pop star or something. Like
Agreed.
I don't know a single one of my fans. Like you need to know your community. You need to know the people in your chat, especially the regulars that come in every stream or like at least frequently.
Oh, yeah.
Like you should know like details about them. Really, like get
100%.
personable.
Oh, I agree, 100%. And I almost take issue with the word fans. You know what I mean? It puts you in that ivory tower, like above other people. And like, there's been a few times where I've been to streams, and obviously I'm not going to say anyone's handles or anything, but like just even as like a first time viewer or something, and just kind of cruising around the platform because we do that, right? Like people. We want to watch a variety of different channels, check out different people. And I've been greeted as kind of like, oh, thanks for being a fan, like the first time being there. And I'm just kind of like, I don't even really know who you are. So,
Right.
It's kind of like a different way to, I guess, word things. And I think that's another big thing too, is that words really, really matter. And what we say matters. And like how we choose to phrase and say things, even the tone we use when we're speaking. And that's just like kind of, we all learn it as we go, but I just think it's so important.
100%, man. But with that, I'm gonna try tie this into the networking aspect also, because
for sure.
Like I've learned, like just from knowing you, I've been taking tips and just watch. Like I got to know you. Like it was like, this is a cool dude. I'm actually gonna like come like stop by streams, especially like the Saturday Sunday morning streams are like perfect.
I love
like,
those.
Wake up, getting my breakfast and coffee, just chilling, talking. But then as I got like actually ingrained into your community, I started taking notes for myself of how I can improve myself and my community by doing things that you're doing, and how, and then just with the way that you communicate with everybody and how everybody wants to communicate with you, and then the networking with other streamers, because that I found multiple people just through you alone because of the way that you practice the networking.
Yeah, I love and adore the grind, and the grind in general encompasses pretty much everything when it comes to being a streamer, and networking in particular is just very, very rewarding, and I love it. And I love the fact that it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like we're meeting so many different people from all over the world that we may never, ever, ever, ever otherwise get a chance to meet. And you're making so many friends. There's so much engagement. There's so much interaction. And for me, like, I have a pretty close social circle, IRL in general. And so it's really, really nice to have that other avenue, for social interaction and, make so many more friends. And so it's just really, really rewarding and valuable. And at the end of the day, it helps your stream, but it also, in general, I think the priority with the networking as well is just getting to know everyone and really making genuine connections. Because I feel like a lot of the time, like with networking, there is a slimy underbelly to networking where, sometimes people kind of come off as grifters or like a snake oil salesman being like, hey, come on in here, follow for follow, follow for follow.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, like, yeah, I see what you're doing, bro, but it's like, or like the self-promoing and like all this different kind of stuff. And like, so there are, there's etiquette to networking. And I think it's just really, really nice how through networking I've been able to meet so many people, but also what's also really rewarding is the fact that I'm able to introduce really great people to other really great people, and everyone can kind of be in on the joke together.
Yeah.
Everyone's in on it. No one's on the outside kind of looking in, being like, oh, what was the punchline there? Why can't I laugh with you guys?
Right.
Because there is no cool kids table. It's good people table. And, it's like the cafeteria, I guess, is the metaphor here. But it's just, yeah, I think everyone's invited to the party. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah, I mean, God, there's like, we could run off with that, just what you just said, like in like 6 different directions.
Tangent master.
I think like, because it's like, probably what you always hear just from the start is like, I mean, now it's like, make sure you upload shorts, whatever. But ever since day one, like everybody's like, networking is so important.
Oh, it is.
The problem is that it's that slimy. A lot of people who do it, I mean, you're doing it. I mean, the intention of networking is to improve yourself.
100%.
Like, that's just how it is. But it's doing it in the right way, as I believe that you do, and how, like, generally making those connections, making those friends, and sharing together and growing together. And it's not just that follow for follow BS that it's just like generic, artificial, like it's just boosting your numbers. That, and the people who do that, you're like, I have 2,000 followers because I follow 2,000 people and they follow me back, but I only have one viewer.
Yeah,
like,
and that's the incongruency. Yeah, that's the dead giveaway for me, is when I see the 7.5K follows and the 3 viewers, and then no one's chatting in chat, kind of thing. Like one of those things. And that's just like another like kind of little analytical thing that we could talk about till we're blue in the face too, just because it's like you notice the incongruencies with that kind of stuff. But yeah, in general, it's just like the follow for follow thing never works. Guys, it never works. If you're a streamer out here listening, don't do follow for follow. It doesn't work. Support for support is probably a more appropriate thing. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to follow somebody, go in there and say hi to them. You know what I mean? Try to, broach a human interaction. I know that's in the age of burning ourselves in black mirrors, we get a little lost. But yeah, you can still say hello to people. So I think that's really important.
I mean, with that, I was like, because I went from being coming back to content creation, I came back with Fortnite. But then recently, I've switched to the Tarkov extraction shooters. I've been playing a lot of Delta Force lately.
Really cool games.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like all my streamer friends, all my online friends, everybody I've met from 2017 have all been ingrained into like Fortnite for the most part. Some of them have branched off and done played other games and stuff, but it's really hard. So I'm just kind of here playing by myself. I'm like, all right, how do I, especially the streamers who are ingrained in Fortnite, they're not going to move their viewer base to some game that's a fraction of the size, which I wouldn't ever expect anybody to. So it's like, all right, so my friends aren't playing this game. I don't want to play alone. I guess I got to make new friends.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. And I've been thinking about this more and more in the last month. And I just kind of like keep saying this to myself because it's funny. We were talking about MLB and Fortnite earlier and how like the same viewers will stay for either game, right? Or whatever I'm playing or whatever. And in general, I think like the phrase play the game you want, I would give that advice to anyone. Like, play the game you want to play, because it's like a if you build it, they will come kind of thing. Like, I find a lot of the times when I'm playing baseball, for example, like I'll get a lot of baseball fans that will tap in naturally, right? Because they want to watch the baseball gameplay. But in general, it's like it's attracting that kind of sports fan viewer as well, like with the game. But on top of that, because of the community we fostered and that we're continuing to grow and spread and all that good stuff, the community remains intact as well. So it's a community and it's a place to watch a game. But if you don't necessarily mess with the game, then there's still the community there to chill with, and it's still a good place to be. So yeah.
I mean, with that, I mean, obviously there's going to be those people that come for the game and the game alone, and there's just some people that strictly only watch that one game, which is, that's totally fine. Of course, they'll be there when you come back to the game. But play the game you want to play, but do be aware if you're going from Fortnite to a racing game.
Yes.
Especially like I think personally, I just think watching racing is just incredibly boring. I understand why people like it, but not me. I probably would not go out like, even if I love the streamer, I probably wouldn't tune into that game. But that's just me.
Makes sense.
So like there are those, like, you will lose some of that viewership. I'm not saying I want to stop it. It's like, hey, chat for a bit, but I want to be a regular viewer, most likely.
Yeah, I think the expectations need to be realistic for sure. Yeah, the point you're making essentially is just like, don't expect things to be exactly parallel. You know what I mean? Don't expect them to be exactly the same, because there is, like you said, there is a drop off too. It's funny because like I never know what to expect when I turn the red light on, like ever. Oh yeah. It doesn't matter what game I'm playing. Doesn't matter if I'm just sitting there like talking to people. I'm just like, I hope people show up. That's like, I hope you guys got the memo or the flyer I put on the telephone pole. I don't know. I hope someone gets my carrier pigeon. But yeah.
Yeah. I still do that to myself today, and like more than ever, I shouldn't ever feel like that. Like I'm the biggest now that I've ever been. I turn the stream on. I instantly have people in chat, but I'm still like, maybe today's the day that everybody's like, fuck that guy. I don't want to watch him anymore. I'm just going to go back to the being a one beer Andy. But I think it's kind of something that burns in the back of all of our minds. The what if, like, today's my day type thing. But the last thing I want to say on like the transitioning categories. So when I was playing Fortnite, I got so tired of the children. Like the young viewer, like, they have their place. The way that I'm trying to, like, getting older, want to be more just, I'm not family friendly, would never have been. Maybe it felt weird knowing that I had like middle schoolers, early high schoolers in my chat, and I'm like, I was like, Fortnite just isn't feeling like what Fortnite was when I started it. So I was like, all right, so what do I do? Where do I transition? And because I had originally at one point, I played League and did stuff like that. Teamfight Tactics was just another Riot game. Tried out, like, I jumped around a lot, and I had that issue of, like I had my regulars, but people came for the categories, and if you're coming for League, you're not going to watch Fortnite most likely. Like, they don't typically overlap a whole lot. So when I was like, all right, so I don't want to go back to the mental illness that is League, because that's just terrible for myself in the first place. But I was like,
it's a grind, that game. I've never played myself, but I've heard some horror stories.
It's a cesspool.
I saw a meme and it was like, if you're going to start League, the first step is to not play League.
Oh yeah, never let it
just
install.
Like, just don't ever start.
It's a virus. Like, that's the only way to describe it. It's terrible for you.
It's a plague.
It's bad for your health. It's bad for your mental sanity. It's bad for your computer. Like, it's just, no, don't do it. But when I was looking at that, I was like, all right, so where do I go? And Tarkov had been a game that I played before, and I was like, all right, so maybe if I just go from one shooter to another shooter, people go, okay, you're going pew pew to other pew pews. Like, the objective from game 1 to game 2 is kill people with a slightly different twist. And surprisingly, I had a lot of people who didn't know what Tarkov was, or just extraction shooters in general, come over and go, so what is this? Like, I see you going pew pew, I understand pew pew, but why does this pew pew do different from that pew pew? And you're like, okay, I can run with this. And then people, are, like, especially like Bot Reaper, like he's been a console gamer his entire life, and very mainstream, I guess, because attraction shooters are like a newer thing and not very mainstream. So being able to like just teach him and other people within the community that hadn't seen that type of gameplay before was really fun. First off, and and then they like fell in love with like not something I want to play, but I really enjoy watching this. So it's also an aspect of carrying your community to something else in a different type of way, even though it's not something that they play or even know anything about.
Yeah, those the extraction shooters. I think like I've been hearing about them more recently because I guess there's a lot of new ones that have been coming out. Yeah, Tarkov is really fun to watch because it's very survivalist. Like you're just kind of going around and like death is a very like realistic like option in that game. Like if you get shot a few times, you're probably gonna be dead. So yeah, it's a fun watch for sure. But yeah, in general, it's just kind of carrying the community kind of from game to game is a fun little game in itself. You know, you never know what to expect, and in general, it's just very rewarding when you can see that as the constant variable in that stream, you're able to have people gravitate towards you for whatever reason. Maybe some people, my good friend Jordan Bombay says it all the time, but he's like, follow me if you like the content, but follow me if you hate the content as well. And if you just want to hate watch me. And I was just like, you know what? You're all in on that. It doesn't matter if they love you or they hate you. You're getting a reaction. And I love that. Like, he doesn't get a lot of trolls or whatever, a lot of haters or anything like that. But that's just the tagline he uses all the time. And I love it.
You gotta love the haters, though, man. When the second that you start getting haters is when you know that you're making an impact. Because those haters, those trolls, see you and that you're doing something successful that they probably can't figure it out themselves. And that just means that you're doing something right.
It's easier to chop the tree down than it is to climb it. And I've kind of dealt with that my whole life. Like it's always just been like and it goes both ways too, right? Because sometimes you can get jealous of other people. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of interesting the human nature of some to cut others down instead of allowing people to grow together.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, with that too, is like the amount of just people like not haters, but just people in general who like I'll just be chatting with in chat or just like in other people's communities and like I really want to stream, but I feel like I can't, or like XYZ, like I can't. There's like just like I can't do it. It's like why not? Like, well, I don't have a PC. It's like, oh, okay. Do you have
tools of the trade?
Yeah.
Do you have a tablet? Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
Do you have
especially like mobile gaming?
$15 for a capture card.
Exactly.
You can get the worst capture card in the world.
As long as he gets from point A to point B. It doesn't need to be the perfect quality.
But you can plug an HDMI cable into your microwave. Just see what happens. Stream Twitch to your microwave.
I mean, honestly though, I mean, get a smart fridge and start gaming.
Make some ice while you're at it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that the people are just I don't know what it is because I feel like I've been hearing it a lot lately as well. Like it kind of comes and goes in waves. There's a lot of people are like, I can't do this because I don't have a computer. I don't have the money. Well, like there's like, but you do game, right? They're like, yeah, I have a console. Let's say last time I checked, you play video games on a console. Console can upload. So take that and just run with it. And it's amazing once those people that do like who are ingrained into communities and everybody knows them in the community. Like, hey guys, I want to try streaming. Like, do you mind just like saying hi? And like, if you ever stream in the first place, yeah, we would come say hi. And then
it's that community support.
Yeah, and then within like they're on day 2 of streaming and they have like 5 viewers, which means that they're already in like the top like 20%, if not higher.
Exactly.
And they only have like 20 followers, and it's like it's not about the quality necessarily. Like, yes, quality obviously helps. Like over time, like quality does bring a certain aspect of things. Mm-hmm. But the person is still the reason why people come.
Absolutely.
And it's just, don't be afraid of starting something. Like, the worst you can do is just fail. Like, where people say no, don't show up, and you go, at least I tried it. At least now I know that this isn't for me. And I feel like that's just with any aspect of life.
It really is, and it's about the consistency too, because it's like how many times, especially like when I first started going live, this was like in 2018. I didn't know what I was doing. I was completely blind to what streaming was. So I was sitting on my couch in the living room, and I went live from my console, and I had PlayStation 4 camera or something on the TV. So I was like really far away. It looked like shit. Like my stream looked like shit. And so I'm sitting on the couch, and it's just like trial by fire. Turn the red light on. Let's see what happens. Let's see if anyone shows up. Let's see if anyone says anything in the chat. I just want to see what's going to happen. And I would sit there, and it would just be like a constant grind. I would grind for like 5 hours a day, almost every day. And then I'd go to work at like a shitty grocery store job. I worked there for 10 years. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And I would just go live every day. But it's just the disqualification of like, I can't stream, I can't do this, I couldn't possibly do that, you know what I mean? Like the mentality like that, I find it to be, it's a shame because, you know, you can't get the consistency that you're going to want to get without actually turning the red light on. So I think a big thing is just keep going live. Even if you get one viewer, let's say you went live for 3 hours, you get one viewer, who cares? Did you get any follows? No, who cares? You know, and that's another thing too. Don't fixate on those on the follows. Don't fixate on the, you know, we had like the analytics are great. They're great as tools, and I advocate for the analytics. I use them all the time. I kind of worship at the altar of statistics a little too much to a fault sometimes. But yeah, if you're getting yourself down because, oh, I only had X viewers, I only have this many follows, I only have this or that or this, and it's numerical based and it's just a metric, I think it's important to take solace and take the victory of, I went live, I did something. I did it with intention. I showed up. I said, okay, I'm going to go live this time. I went live, did my thing, whatever. And then 5 weeks down the line, you may do the exact same thing, but with more knowledge and with more giddy up, and like you're gonna have a great stream.
I mean, that's the thing about it too. Is like content creation in general. It's like it's a talent and a skill set, but it's not something that you have to just have because it's something that you can build with that practice and repetition. If I went back and watched the streams from when I first started streaming, I see why I was a small streamer. Like, and it took me forever to grow in certain aspects compared to where I am now, because it's just like leaps and bounds. I'm not even the same person anymore. Like,
yeah, it was kind of funny because when I came back and started really hitting streaming hard again last April, that's when I really kind of started taking it a little more seriously with the networking and doing everything and really kind of trying to put my hands in every basket. Like, I remember some streamers, I would go into their channels and they'd have, when they give you a shout out, it would show your old clips. And I didn't realize I hadn't deleted my old clips. So here I am, like, looking like I do. And then in my old clips, I look like a little boy. And I don't have a beard or anything, and I just hear my shitty little voice, and I'm just kind of like, oh my God, like, as if this is playing for these viewers, and this person was so gracious to, you know, give me a shout out and be really nice about it, but now I have to sit here, and it's almost like a punishment for myself. Self-inflicted.
Cringing.
Obviously, because it's me, but yeah. It would happen a lot, and then eventually I was like, oh shit, I could just get rid of these. And it's like I said, every day I'm learning something new where I'm just like, oh, I could have just cleared that and avoided that. And now I have some actual, like, adult clips where I feel like I'm a grown man. So
I love like when the old ones just pop up though. I deleted a lot of them.
They are funny,
but there are a few that I'm like, all right, I have to keep this around because it's just like shit mic, shit quality. I look like I'm like 5 years old, but just like when that pops up, and the people know me for now, and they they weren't around then, so they're like, holy shit. How long ago was that? I was like, oh, I was in my teens. And they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, it's fun to look back on as well, though.
It is. It's a comforting nostalgia. Sometimes cringy, but like you said, but it can be comforting too.
Yeah, it's fun. But I mean, so talked about your networking, your talent networking and streaming and you building the community. But also, one of the last points I want to really hit on is your ability, like with all that and everything we talked about, but also like the your ability to actually just like communicate with your community and like it's just you're just everywhere. Like how do you manage that? Just like with like because you're in a relationship, you have a job,
It's a
you
lot.
stream, you make your own content, but then you're also in other people's streams, you're in other people's discords, you're always there. Like once somebody knows you, they don't they don't get to forget about you. You don't go away.
I don't let them leave. No.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, no, to put it mildly, I live in the walls of Twitch, and you asked like how do you do it? And the short answer is insanity and a kind of a brain like a beehive sometimes. I have to shove things in different compartments and but yeah, and also just open 27 tabs on your browser. I don't know.
Yes,
Hey kids, open 27 tabs on your browser. Go in everyone, say hello to people, have human interactions, and not to mention, I think I'm a mod in 14 channels now on Twitch as well.
that's crazy.
So, and sometimes I'm modding 4 channels at once. I call that the quad mod. Also,
Nice.
trademarked. I just trademarked that quad mod.
Don't steal
But
it.
yeah, so it's at the point now where I almost need to put "I live in the walls of Twitch" on a T-shirt because people have started to talk about me, and I think they worry for my sanity at times. But yeah, I don't know. It can be a lot. My wife is very supportive. She's always been great about everything. She helps out with a lot of this stuff too. She does a lot of the production stuff for the stream. Shout out to Pix,
That's
one of
awesome.
the best mods. Lovely, lovely. But yeah, we just have a lot of fun in general. I try to balance everything as well as I can. Some days I have to say no, and I think learning to say no to things sometimes is a really valuable thing too. I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's one
really
of these
important.
one of these things where it's like you can't spread yourself too thin, you know, and you can't please everyone. It's the Nickelback paradox again. You can only please most of the people most of the time. And if you try to do more than most of the people most of the time, you'll probably drive yourself insane. So I think in general, it's just a lot of good time management. I've learned to manage my time, and I do that mostly without things like spreadsheets or anything. I use my notes app a lot on my phone. Even if it's just like songwriting ideas, like I could pull up a songwriting idea in my notes app right now. Just give you an example. No, I don't need to know what's new in notes, but thank you.
There's something new in notes.
Where are we? Okay, so here's an example. It's just very vague, but it says storage, and then brackets beside it just says band or song name. And I don't know if I'll ever use that, but I just thought of like the notion and the song concept of storage, and then it gets my brain turning, and I'm like, well, what do you mean storage? What gets put in storage? And then it's like, oh, an old coat or an old toy or an old this or an old that, and then suddenly it just spirals into something else, and then yeah, so my brain just explodes constantly. I think is the short answer.
I think that's a great thing to hit on too. Like, because that's something I've really started doing a lot lately. Is like, if I'm just riding in the car, don't text and drive. I'll pull out the notes app. Like, that's like really my like that or the shower. You know, shower thoughts. Like,
Oh yeah,
driving the car, just listening to podcasts.
big time
Or
shower playlist guy. I make like a dedicated playlist before I get in the shower, and then I set up my Bluetooth speaker, and it's like I know this next 5 song run is gonna be elite because I just DJ'd the shit out of my own bathroom.
that's the way I do it.
Absolutely.
And get this but get when those gears are turning, don't just like make sure you use all that time when it hits, and
For sure.
make sure you put on something because it's ever since I've only been doing that recently, like, probably the last like 2 months, and the things that I've added or created from that is like it'll get you out of a rut. It'll help you be productive from that because you've already done all the heavy lifting of getting it started, which is probably the hardest part, honestly.
It really is. And have you, like, for example, like, have you ever woken up after having like a really, really awesome dream, or really just like not necessarily a scary dream or anything, not a nightmare or anything, just like a really weird or strange dream, and then you're trying so hard to remember what the dream was, and it's just like you're awake first of all, so you have no excuse. You just like notate that stuff right away as soon as you like said you're like it's like catching lightning in a bottle, right? Like you just want to kind of find whatever you're looking for, whether that's I don't know if you've ever watched Shark Tank, like where they pitch
I
business
love Shark
ideas.
Tank.
Yeah, man, they're such dicks. But yeah, no, it's just like it could be anything from a business idea that you're gonna pitch to Shark Tank, or some color shirt you want to buy. I don't know, but just notate everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I do with like YouTube videos. One day I'm going to write a novel, and I wrote the first entire chapter using text to speech while I was driving.
That's awesome.
Like
That's pretty meta.
Yeah, it just hit me one day, and I was like, I want to take advantage of this, and I just started yapping.
I love that.
And I do that pretty regularly at this point. And it's just anytime something hits, I just start yapping, and I'll dig through it later and figure out what I can pull from it, and what was yap, and what was like, hey, this is actually like, hold on, I was kind of cooking.
That free consciousness kind of thought process.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but like my thoughts tend to flow pretty like, especially if I'm saying them out loud. Like I can just kind of unravel that thought process a little better, and that's just for me, I guess. But I'm sure a lot of other people have it too. But that sounds like a really, really cool meditative creative process, because you're sitting there, you're in your car driving or whatever, and the text to speech is just so fluid. You just talk, right? So
yeah, and it is just that. It's like, it's not forced at all. It's like probably one of the, like, I don't know if it gets better than just that. Like you're not putting effort into it. You're not forcing something to be what you want it to be. It is what it is. Like to me, that's like been my favorite, most creative way to produce or just brainstorm things in general.
That's awesome.
But yeah, like just, and everything we talked about today, like also just carries across just the entertainment industry as well. This is like a lot of like, I have a lot of streamers on, and we talk about the streaming space, but I was really excited to have you on because you have so many more different. I can't English apparently.
You're good.
You have so many different perspectives and the different ways of what you've done. You're in a band, you stream, and there's so much to learn from you because of the different experiences that you've had.
There's been a lot, I've done a lot of different things. I've had my hand in a lot of different things. Like I have a 2-year college diploma for social work as well. So it was just kind of one of those things where I took that for 2 years and really got to the bottom of my communication style as well. So like incorporating that, and then also getting on stage in front of people a lot, which helps a lot with being on camera like this.
Yeah.
Just because like,
I mean, it's public speaking.
Yeah, it definitely is. And, when this actually still happens every once in a while, but I'll get a little stage fright before I'm going live in this room. And, it's not all the time, but it's like every once in a while I'll get a little pit in my stomach, and then it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I remember the feeling, right? I remember the feeling of being in front of people, and I tend to really enjoy the process of bantering between songs when we perform live too. So I really like talking to people in between songs. I feel like maybe it's because I'm hiding behind a guitar or something, and I just feel powerful. I have a staff, right. A wizard staff or something. I don't know. But yeah, just like culminating like the social work stuff with like the playing in a band stuff, and then just generally enjoying what I'm streaming as well, like Fortnite and MLB. I know a lot about both of them, pretty good at both of them. And then kind of mixing in those other social skills has been really interesting. And having my hand in a bunch of different stuff has been valuable, and just having a really, really humble upbringing, where, a lot of the times we had to, eat shit and learn to like the taste of shit. And, I think it's important, and it just gives you a really humbling perspective of appreciating what you have, and, knowing that tomorrow isn't really ever promised. So,
yeah, I mean, incredibly well said.
I appreciate that.
But we're about to start hitting that hour mark, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. It is getting late, but I really appreciate you coming on.
No,
I was really excited to talk, like just be able to shoot the shit and chat with you.
Yeah, man. Of course, it's been a real blast, dude. Fun conversation for sure. I learn something new every day. I learn stuff every day, and this is just another valuable opportunity for me to learn even more. So I'm grateful, and I'm humbled.
I've learned a lot from you in just the short time that we've known each other. And I hope this inspires somebody else to create content or improve their content if they're just starting off, or even if they're well established. Like, there's just always something to learn from anybody.
Go start a band, kids, and go be a streamer, or go do whatever it is you want to do, but make sure you still need a job because you gotta have money in order to do those things. You can't just like
They're very
go
expensive.
from being a 13-year-old kid to being like famous streamer. And some 13-year-old kid out there is like, you watch me, motherfucker. I'm gonna be famous.
It's gonna be 14 making millions.
100%.
But if you check out MJ, you can find him on twitch.tv/MJPK2Sweet. Make sure you check out his rock band, who is phenomenal. You guys won't be disappointed. White Hot. You can find him on Spotify. Are y'all anywhere else? I just listened on Spotify.
It should be everywhere you can get music. I don't know. I think we're as far as Deezer. We got like Deezer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, right? Play you on your Pono player. No, fucking Apple Music, I think. All that good stuff. So, yeah. Wherever you get your music or wherever you put it in your ear holes, I'm sure you can find it.
Yeah. You guys won't be disappointed in anything that he creates. And you can find me, in the links below. Everything will be linked below. And thank you again, man, for coming on. It was a great time.
Not a problem, dude. Thanks for having me.